Hi everyone, we're here at the Rewire conference in Tacoma. It is put on by the Washington Observer, which is the newspaper that covers everything that happens in Washington state government, but it's especially focused on the legislative session.
My name is Paul Query, and I am the founder, editor, and publisher of the Washington Observer, which is a newsletter on politics, government, and the influence thereof in Washington state.
The Washington Observer exists because my editor, Paul Query, started it, and he was taking on his years of experience working with the Associated Press, covering the politics and happenings of Olympia, and he wanted to sort of unpack and almost like show the work of what happens in politics, but in terms of the influential people and power dynamics that help make these things happen.
We're really lucky to have them because a lot of national news just doesn't cover the sort of details, day-to-day things that are happening in our local government.
And this is a conference we throw every December to raise money to strengthen our journalism at the Observer. And we bring together policymakers and experts and consultants who work on various subjects and kind of get down into the weeds about policy.
Now here at this conference, we have advocates, we have lobbyists, we have state legislators, we have state officials, and they're all here to find out what's going to be happening in the 2025 legislative session. So let's go find out.
A lot of great conversations today around how we build coalitions to get policies passed.
I'm also here to learn about what are the legislative priorities, the laws, the policies, the initiatives that might be coming up next year in 2025.
What legislation would you be excited to work on with Democrats, or if any?
Well, again, when you look at energy, and I served in the nuclear Navy, and
I think everything that happens at the legislature at the end of the day is a conversation, and so understanding what various stakeholders in that conversation are talking about is really an important way to kind of prepare for session and get ready to engage in the work there.
So my internal drive, my internal reminder all the time is to keep being curious about the people that disagree with me, to at least have an opportunity to engage and have conversations and figure out if we can find some common ground. Because if we stop being curious, these divisions that we're facing will continue to proceed over the next many years. And that's not good for me, it's not good for the people that I'm going to be serving, and it's not good for anybody here.
I say that every conversation is a meal, because right now, we're coming from different sides, we're not all politically aligned, but we all have our lens of perspective that we're, viewing things from, and we're giving that dish out to the other person, and what they can perceive is dependent on, their own lens of perspective. And so seeing different faces, different voices here, you get to see kind of like where the other side is coming from, and attempt to listen and understand, and also formulate your arguments better.
It isn't just like some straight shot between a bill proposal to something being passed and then implemented in your community. There's a lot of inner workings and loyalties that happen. So our job at the Observer as independent journalists is to really look at those power dynamics.
What you're going to do to increase the supply and access to child care for working families. The state government touches pretty much every aspect of most people's lives in some way. And if you don't pay attention, then you're not really part of the process of what's happening to you. And so I think it really behooves people of all ages to pay attention to what's going on, to keep track of who's spending money on what, who's trying to influence what, because it's all about all the things that people care about.